Boom, we are live on all three mediums. We're doing it on Instagram, we're doing it on Facebook, we're doing it on YouTube. Good morning, 7th of June. What week it has been. We have so much to talk about, folks. You know what this is. This is the Haiti Biz News Show, right? Every Sunday, we try to come in, we view the news, we try to give you information in a way that's usable, understandable, right? And devoid of the political nonsense that you're so used to seeing when it comes to Haiti. We try to put a very intelligent conversation, right? And really try to push information forward while nous quitter caca dehors, as we like to say en Creole, right? Lots to talk about. Of course, those who are watching this after the fact always know you can catch us Sundays 11 a.m. And you have your chance to participate in the conversation. We have everything's right live on air, right? I do encourage conversation. It's as much as and participation, engagement, because as much as I like to hear myself talk, which I do, I very much appreciate what you have to, what you guys have to say, what you guys have to think about, right? Your perspective. When someone from, for example, Jamaica adds their perspective of what I may be talking about as it relates to China, or someone I talk about from Dominican Republic defends themselves. always great to have that perspective, because again, I don't want this to be a one-sided affair. It's so very important that we have, the full spectrum of views, right? A few spectrum of perspectives. So again, as folks are piling in here, again, good morning. And I do welcome your participation. Right, got so much to talk about. It's been such an action-packed week, right? But as always, do want to give some time to talk about the top of the hour things that we always talk about. First and foremost, YouTube CGenti. Of course, if you're new here, if somebody just shared this with you, and you're not too sure what this is, we like to highlight Haiti here, right? We have quite a bit of content on the YouTube CGenti channel, where we've had an opportunity to go to different businesses, different hotels, different resorts, different touristic sites, and really provide I like to think a well put together presentation of what those places have to offer. And if you haven't seen anything yet, do go to YouTube CGenti. There's lots of different playlists. There's a Sights and Sounds playlist. There's a Haiti Biz Spotlight playlist. There's droning in Haiti. There's driving in Haiti. There's walking in Haiti, right? We try to give it to you in every single perspective possible. In addition to Untitled, where we actually have sit down. That's my favorite series. I actually have sit downs, and we talk about how exactly can you be successful in the business environment, right? And we get it from actual entrepreneurs, actual people who've been doing it in the country for 30, 20 plus years, right? Because, the first person who's failed will tell you, because you run across the failure easy because they're in America talking shit, right? And so we're in Haiti, and we're meeting the successes, and there are a lot more successes than the failures, right? And so we're trying to show you, it's possible to come to Haiti and be successful in a business perspective, number one. And number two, we're giving you the actual strategies. We're actually talking to people who have done it, right? And we're spilling all the tea, okay? Because Haiti only changes one way only. We can't depend on the UN. We can't depend on the international community. We can't depend on there's the traditional elites that have already been there and already shown their true colors. We can only depend on ourselves, then the diaspora, and also those who are natively there as well, to of the lower class though, to rise up and be successful, and then influence the country in the right direction. That's why we're here. That's the truly the underlying mission of CGenti. And so again, if you haven't seen the Anu Palais series, and let me transition to the podcast. Last week we had, oh my God, this is easily, I mentioned this before. She's one of my top 5 favorite people in Haiti, and given that she's in the domain that I'm a part of, because I consult in addition to all the business ventures I do. One thing that so gives me a foundation of income is that I function as a consultant in analytics, right? And so folks who don't know what that is, what is that? We talk about it, right? And the fact that, her name's Castilian Tilos, she's actually bringing an analytics boot camp program to Haiti, she's brought, and then everyone, 100% of those who
finish that boot camp, get employment, they actually get a chance to work at Digicel. How often is everyone and their mama has a training program in Haiti. Everyone has some quote unquote educational program in Haiti. Everyone has a quote unquote school in Haiti, but how many folks can actually sit and say, hey, 100% of folks who leave my educational program have jobs? And honestly, that should be the pre-qualification. If you ever hear anybody trying to pimp out Haitian poverty, okay, and say, oh, we're giving this donation for these kids to go to school, ask them, hey, or go to this training program, right, or pay to be part of this program. Ask them how many of these folks have jobs waiting for them. And if they don't tell you 100%, my friends, it's a scam. It's a pimp my poverty ride in Haiti, per usual. And I want you to avoid that. But Castellan, she's changing the game and bringing something that's very much needed in the country in terms of analytics, critical thinking, and giving it, empowering Haitians to be a part of that and not miss that wave. So again, if you haven't seen that, I think that episode is probably so far my most popular episode because we get so personal, number one, and we really get in the weeds. You really can see how excited I am to talk about that topic, and the fact I'm still talking about it now. So again, on the podcast is on everything. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Pod. We're on everything, in addition to being on the Facebook channel and on the YouTube channel, right? And so however you want to consume it, you can consume it. I've heard, I read the comments now, and usually what's been happening of late is I'm seeing complaints on the podcast YouTube version, right? And about ads. Number one, I don't really control the ads. It's YouTube. YouTube decides how many ads it wants to play, right? And especially since it's so long, YouTube just drops ads throughout the entire YouTube thing, right? And so if you guys who are watching this and they're annoyed by the ads, go listen to the podcast on Spotify or Anchor, right? There's so many different ways to consume it on something else, because I give it to you and everywhere else. YouTube adds to it. Can't really control that. Just a quick FYI, by the way, right? So again, that's the podcast. And of course, those who are coming in right now, as you pile in, as you guys take your seats, share the stream, share it, right? If you're watching on Facebook, hit that little share button, do a watch party, maybe invite a few folks who of like minds, bring them in here, right? I'll share it on a messenger. If you're watching on YouTube, drop it in a channel on your WhatsApp group. Let's get some more folks in here, right? Because the more people we can have in here, the higher return on information we can get. And that's really the point of all this, to exponentially increase, informed discussion, informed conversation, and at the end of the day, real action that can be sustainable and drive Haiti forward, right? So share the stream. All right. So let's talk about the headlines. What are we talking about today? Actually, before I do, I just want to say good morning to FC. Good morning, Bounce Bougie. Hey man, good to see you. Good morning. Jean-Philippe Charles, good morning. Ask me a question too. Have you been to Cafu area? I've been. In fact, one of my most popular videos of Cafu was when I visited Aise de Rosier, which is they do backpacks, not just any backpacks. They actually take a sachet glue, the little sachet glue that you all drink and throw on the ground. They take those off the streets and then recycle them, and they become the material for their book bags, right? And so yes, I've certainly been to Cafu, and I did that. So if you haven't seen that video, it should be under my Haiti Biz Spotlight playlist. So go check that out. Cafu is a place that certainly has a lot of potential, and we certainly hope at some point more folks from Cafu return and start to reinvest in that area, right? Ernest Nicole, for those who ask me if I'm back in Haiti, you guys have to ask yourself, have you guys heard Haiti has reopened, right? The moment Haiti reopens, there's not even a question. I'm on the first plane, right? But to be clear, until you hear Haiti has reopened, I cannot take a boat back and be in the country. It's you guys are meeting well when you ask that, but it's a little annoying because I don't like answering that question to say, no, I'm not. I want to be in the country, right? And until you guys hear the Haitian government has reopened the airport, I am not there. All right. Let's see. LV Alex,
Edwin, good morning. Good morning. The country has been, locked down since 1980. Sources say they no longer produce sugarcane. What do we do about Husco? Sources say, you just go to the country and you see for yourself. It's not sources, right? Castro, Jean Charles, nothing wrong. Adds good content. You know what? It pays the bills. You're absolutely right, Castro. Good morning. Jay Saint, good morning. First time seeing you in the chat. Good to see you. Good morning. I got a lot of folks on IG. I want to say what's up to everyone who's watching right now on IG. What is up? Her initials, CJ. What is up? The Whitney Lubin shared something. I can't quite do anything with that link. IG is doesn't like links that go out. So Whitney, if you want to message me or, you got my contact information, Whitney, what are you doing? Just message me directly. Come on. Her initials Jo says, yeah, Haiti is open in August. That's, until it's August and you hear that, then ask me that question. Until then, Haiti is closed for everybody unless you're gonna walk through the border across the Dominican Republic. That's the only way to really get in the country. I think I'm not doing that. So yeah, all right. So good morning, everyone. I got a couple of other folks coming in. Bonjour, Amani. What's up? Kenal, David. Beard game looking. Listen, I gotta cut this thing, man. I gotta cut this bit. It's getting a little too thick. Even the hair up here is getting a little too thick. I'm gonna see what I can do about that today. Even though the barbers are reopening stateside, I'm still a little afraid of COVID hasn't had a vaccine just yet, so I'm not about that life just yet. So luckily for me, I have a brother of mine who used to cut way back when and re-picked up those skills, and that's why I'm not looking totally crazy. So I gotta connect with my brother and see what he can do for me today if he's available. Okay. But appreciate the comment. Franz Camille, good morning. All right. Yeah, exactly. FC. I don't have a private jet just yet. Right. So no, I'm here. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's just jump headlines. Right. I was about to say headlines. So what were we talking about today? COVID numbers. Got to update. We're on week 11 now. Week 11 of COVID, and so we'll talk about what the numbers are in Haiti. We got deliver PPE. We got an update on the PPE deliveries because we already know that they're in the country, but we're going to talk about now where they're going disbursement wise and how they're doing. Got some private donation updates. We got to talk about. Right. And then we have the French embassy, some public aid, different countries giving to Haiti in different capacities. We're going to be talking about that, how that's going. Immigration, that's something, right? That we always have to talk about the flow of Haitians and things that are happening around the world. Some real problematic things are happening in Bahamas right now, right? And we're going to talk about that. Initial economic effect of COVID. The numbers are in. Oh man, y'all giving a data economics guy real numbers to talk about, and we will engage and dissect those numbers. And this piece of news here makes this honestly today's episode probably the most important episode of Haiti Biz News of the year. Real estate law has been updated. The real estate law in Haiti has changed. And this, honestly, I'm gonna bookmark this episode, and I'll cite this episode as one of the things I wish Haiti Biz News could be doing more often. Talking about laws, structural reform that's happening in the country by legislators, right? The job that these legislators should be having to do are the executive branch. We got that piece of news we're gonna be talking about, really dissecting it, right? That's today. Earthquake. There's earthquake. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's been an earthquake, right? So I'm going to briefly talk about that, and we'll finish up with a book fair. There's a book fair bit of news on that. We're gonna wrap up with that bit of news. So those are the headlines, right? So stay tuned, right? We're gonna be talking about everything, right, throughout the day, throughout the pod emission. But I don't know, there might be a day depending on how long you guys keep me here. The more engagement, the more conversation I have, the longer the show, which is good. I love that. I love the fact that we've been pushing almost 2 hours every episode. It's fantastic. I mean, the engagement, the conversation. I'm here for the conversation, really, that we're having, and it's value added, right? That when I can push those sort of time frames. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Let's see. Kenal David asking anyone planning on taking the COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah, I certainly will. I'm not of the conspiracy theorist nonsense. Vaccines have eradicated, measles, mumps, smallpox. The truth of the matter is vaccines, work. Spoiler alert, right? And because I'm not a flat earther, because I don't believe in the Illuminati, I also do not believe that vaccines necessarily cause the things that people say they cause. And I won't feel comfortable in society until the COVID-19 vaccine has been fully developed, and I have it. So that's my perspective, Kano. Do I have a Patreon? I do have a Patreon. So go over to Patreon, Miley Paul, search C Genty, right? And I think actually my Patreon is in the description. So if you go in the description of this video, you'll see my Patreon. So Patreon is there. You're more than welcome to provide through that medium, certainly, right? So thanks in advance if you're so engaged and so entitled. Whitney Dubin's feeling me when it comes to the vaccines. I think that was the hallelujah, right? All right, so let's jump into the first piece of news. COVID. What are the numbers? So as of yesterday, we had 2,850 active cases, right? More and more people are of note in particular. I think last week we talked how most of the high leadership in the PNH have COVID, right? And more senators and deputies are getting it, right? Getting COVID. So it's not, that was a big conspiracy theory for a while there, where folks were saying, COVID's not really in Haiti. But now we have prominent people getting COVID. And I think that is put to bed, right? So in terms of deaths, we're at 50 deaths. Unfortunately, even one death is very sad, but we're at 50 deaths for COVID. And then we have 24 healed, right? 24 folks have been healed thus far officially, right? Considering remission. In Dominican Republic, we have to talk about, DR, because we share the island, particularly something like this. And so many Haitians are over there walking back. So we got to give the updates on that. We have 64,000 active cases. The deaths actually somehow, somewhere actually skipped out on the death count in DR, but it's in the several hundred. So excuse that. But in the healings, 11,736 healed, right? But last we checked for Dominican Republic, the death count was in the several hundreds, right? All right, and so that's where we're at in terms of updates on COVID. The numbers have increased considerably in Haiti per day. We're averaging around 200 new cases a day in Haiti. Before this time last week, we were closer to 100. And the week before, we were pushing, honestly, 40 or 50. So as you can see, every week, it seems as if we're doubling the count from 30s to 50 to hundreds to now 200s. Is next week going to be, in the 400s? Actually, that's how it works with COVID, right? And we can fully expect to be in those counts up, starting next week. And again, as I mentioned before, it's as much as, I hate to be powerless when I say this stuff, but, it's not, I'm not optimistic about what the end number count of cases and deaths will be in Haiti. But what we can do in terms of our parts is, inform our family and friends who may be in Haiti, send money for them to be able to buy masks. Masks are only $1.50 in Haiti, in most places. Continually to console them to wear their masks when they're out, wash their hands when they come into any home or domicile, right? Especially if from back into their homes, keep their hands clean. And that's really all we can do right now, right? We're not scientists. We're not, you can't go in the lab and develop vaccines. We can't even fly there and with shipments of things. So it's really on us to keep the information flow, the pressure, from the folks who we know out there to behave in a safe manner, and take this serious, right? And that's what I consult everyone who's watching right now
As soon as this show is over, make sure you text your family, text your friends in Haiti, and remind them, hey, please wash your hands, keep a mask on, right? Keep distance from folks. This is real. It's a real disease, right? A disease, real virus, right? Real epidemic, right? Canal David says Cash App. No problem. Cash App, same thing. Everything is C Genti, my friend. Everything is C Genti, right? I'm going to type it in there for you, right? Everything's C Genti. And I got to give a special shout out, by the way, too. As you can see, this is a K95 mask, right? This is from an associate of mine's, good friend of mine's, Bo AJ Pierre Lewis. You can see how it looks, right? You can give you a side shot right there. This right here is actually one of the few FDA approved K95 masks out there, right? And it's actually created and patented for medical professionals. I've been blessed to I was wearing the actual N95 mask for a while, right? My mom's a nurse. I was able to, cop one or two. But honestly, I don't even wear those anymore. I wear this because the K95 mask, if you know what I'm talking about, they gotta have to wrap around and they take all your head and they, it's a process to get it on and get it off. This thing right here, look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Boom. Boom. See that? See that? Very comfortable, it's breathable, but yet multi-layered, right? So it's not an ad, by the way. So this is just, he sent me a few just out of him appreciating what we're doing here at C Genti and just give me a shout out, just a boost in the arm to say, keep it going. And I was like, you know what, as a guy who, I don't know how to take charity, I was like, you know what, I got to just tell my audience about this product here. And so you guys can check this out. You can buy a pack of, I think it comes in a pack of 10 for a pretty affordable price point, right? Given how legit this is. This is a real deal. FDA approved. So I'm going to type the website in right here so you guys can go check it out. BoLLC.com. C'est haïtien, déjà. C'est haïtien, me supporter moi-même. BoLLC.com. I'm going, let me type that in here. Let me type that in BoLLC.com. Right? Let me type that in the IG there, right? One word, actually. I'm trying to space it out. Boom. Right? So there we go. All right. Okay. So go check that out. Give him some support because the brother supported me. You know what I mean? only, I have to, again, and I've been using it. Right? So BoLLC.com. Check that out. I had a little quick shout out. Again, wasn't a paid sponsorship. Just a guy who did a favor, and I got to do a favor back. Let you guys know about it. Ships anywhere in America. Okay, and we should get this to Haiti and somehow, but Haiti's closed and shut down right now. Right? What Mini? What is up? Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. That's a big boost in the arm. Merci à pile. Certainly appreciate the donation. Much love, much appreciation. Thank you so much. That's going to help quite a bit. It's going to go in the war chest. So when I'm back in Haiti, we can do and get back to business. We can do some impactful things. Maybe even go to some places I haven't had a chance to go yet. For example, Jacmel, and there's a lot of places outside of Port-au-Prince I really want to do. And so that little boost in the arm is going to help. So thank you so much for that. I certainly appreciate it, Meanie. All right. And so let's keep it rolling. Let me check out the comments real quick. Let's see. Let's check out the comments. Let's see. What Many goes, many bloggers, media wants to promote Black business. Haitians to jump in on that movement as well. I certainly agree. But of course, my focus is on Haiti and Haitian business. So it's one thing that's been annoying with COVID, me not being in the country and I do my usual Haiti biz spotlights. But of course, those spotlights still exist. Do check out the playlist. So you can still go to Haiti when the virus and border is over. There's a guy named Philly Dom on YouTube that's been passed through my show and everything. That's right, Philly Dom. That's right. Philly Dom usually pops in here, gives a shot, says what's up. That's right. He's probably out and about, but yeah, Philly Dom is doing some really interesting stuff. Cool brother, real cool cat. Nothing but love of Philly Dom. Let's see. Thanks for the mask website referral. Yeah, definitely. I can. Trust me that these masks are the real deal. Absolutely. All right, let's keep it moving. So next up, of course, the delivery of PPE, right? Minister of Public Health delivered to the northwest of Haiti quite a bit of things. Canal David competition, $25. Appreciate it. Much love. Thank you. That is certainly going to help considerably. Again, as I say, those funds put in the war chest so we can get some real quality content out once I'm back in Haiti. So thank you for that, Canal David. Much appreciated. Your donation will be used effectively, believe me. So thank you again, Canal. So the Ministry of Public Health delivered to the Northwest 100 full hospital beds, 1,000 gallons of hydro, basically gel, right? Solution, right? Almost, let's see, how many gallons? Yeah, 1,000 gallons. So 205-gallon containers, right? I'm going to try to say the word hydroalcoholic solution. Voila, I actually said it. Fancy way to say gel, right? 1,000 disposable N95 masks, right? With very strong efficiency. These are the real deals here. We got 2,000 surgical masks, 1,200, general, just overall equipment, and the glass shields, all that. 1,200 of those, 3,000 waterproof gowns, 1,400 gloves, right, and 5,000 shoe protectors. All that got to the northwest of Haiti in just this massive container. Again, as we know, they had some pretty big deliveries that happened 2 weeks ago, and no, even though it's a little behind, but when it comes to Haiti, you take effectiveness and efficiency whenever you get it, and certainly we do hope this can get out, because given that we're seeing this massive spike currently happening in Haiti, these are going to be very important to getting lives saved. Also, President Moise was actually at Sonapi to view one of the factories that have been retrofitted to be focused on creating oxygen in the country. One of the big complaints has been the lack of oxygen that have existed in the country, right? And so it's been a tremendous positive news that they're creating oxygen masks basically in this little factory. Each department has one station dedicated for the creation of oxygen that's going to be shipped to those particular areas, right? So that's massive. That's important. That's going to save countless lives. So certainly we got a report on that. So very happy to hear about that. And so from an overall perspective, I can tell you guys the grade I would give. Okay, let me pause right there. Jay Saint. First, let me highlight Canal David real quick. Boom, I didn't highlight him. Jay Saint, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We got $25 added to the war chest. $25 added to the war chest. Thank you so much. Competition going on in the chats today. I again certainly appreciate it. The war chest, of course, is going to go to producing qualitative content when we're back that you guys are used to. So certainly thank you for that today. Today we're at, how much is that? Let me do the math here. We're at $70 today. Goodness gracious. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Much love. Much appreciation. Thank you. Right. Lost my train of thought, which is a good. If I lose my train of thought for any reason, that's a good reason to lose my train of thought. So here's what I was going to say. And so I can say one thing about the administration of Moise. Looking at it very rationally, looking at it, no emotions, because we know, again, I'm not anti-PHTK, right? If the PHTK does good, I will shout them out, right? I'm here for the improvement and the betterment of the country, period. Point blank, right? Whatever is being done good, we're here to report on it. If something's being done bad, we're going to report it with as much facts as we know, and then talk about it from a factual perspective of why it's bad, right? But I can tell you that the administration of Moise, when it comes to taking this serious, I want to say they've done what they've could. Now, the realities of Haiti, given that Haiti is such an informal market, given that the way you transport and tap taps for so many Haitians, it's a tight quarters. Given that, again, naturally so many Haitians don't have running water in their homes. It's been a challenge, and the numbers we're seeing reflect the stark realities of that, right? And now, is PHTK blameless? Of course not, right? We already know that Petrocaribe happened under PHTK, and that money could have went to doing sizable infrastructure improvement and projects. So of course, we're not shutting down our blinders in terms of what prior administrations could have done to improve the overall infrastructure, health,
education, etc., to not have be in the situation we're in right now. We're not saying that, but for given that we're here, I'm certainly been impressed, and it doesn't say much, but I've been impressed in the overall response of not just the government in Haiti, but also a lot of private players, private companies and groups in the country have stepped up. I'm sure you've been following a lot of fundraisers and things have been happening to help support different hospitals. In addition to the international community have still continued to provide, even though their home countries have been wrecked by COVID. The international community actually has continued to step up. And if you've been watching throughout our entire weeks, and we got even some news today, which we'll get into in a moment, the continued support of the international community for this epidemic has been something really encouraging, right? But most importantly, the fact that a lot of the aid now has been structured more towards sustainable production for agriculture. That's probably the most important aspect of what has been happening over the past few days, few weeks, has been the fact that, again, I've reported on this before. For example, just last week, I reported how over 40,000 packs of fertilizer, right? Bags is probably the better word. 40,000 bags of fertilizer have been officially ordered to be produced by Agro Service, which is a fertilizer creation company, manufacturer in St. Mark area, right? And so things like that is very encouraging, right? In terms of seed, also a lot of these organizations have been getting seeds and material to farmers in the South and in the Northwest and Artibonite. So these are things that I can honestly say I've been following news just personally for forever, and just actually talking to you guys about the news for a long time here in Haiti. I can tell you, COVID has been very stark in terms of economic impact and a lot of things a lot of people have been trying to do, including myself from a private perspective. But I can tell you this is the first time I can say macroeconomically, there's been some real positive directional changes and behavioral changes, not only in the government, but also in the way the international community have decided to help Haiti. So for what it's worth, I'm optimistic. It's hard to believe I'm saying this, but I'm generally optimistic with some of these things I've been seeing. And the question, as always, can it be sustained? And secondly, the corruption and the graft that exists in Haiti, can that be curtailed, right? And then thirdly, too, during the next power transition, how chaotic is it going to be, right? Already folks are gearing up and saying, Jovenel needs to go 2021 per constitutional mandates, even though everyone knows that it's what happened here? Why is that gone? Okay. But even though everyone knows that he took office 2017. I understand the arguments. We're not here necessarily to get into them, but that is going to rear its head in terms of political stability, and certainly will turn back any of the progress that have come out of COVID will be at risk, right? So anyways, I just want to say that again. Here we're here for progress in Haiti. Whoever's doing it, it could be Lavalas, it could be PHTK, right? It could be the Duvaliers, right? Whatever we may feel about them, and we'll report about what they've done in the country. But at the end of the day, we're here for progress by whoever can give it to us, and so we'll report the good certainly, and then shout out the good as it's happening, right? So. In terms of the other things I was talking about, for example, private donation, 2.6 million good, that's about 25,000 USD. Digicel is giving to Dash Clinic, the Dash clinic chains. If anyone knows about Dash clinic chains, they're very accessible clinic chains that are all across, the Port-au-Prince area, right? And so the fact that they're getting this support, they're really the point of first contact for so many Haitians. So very happy to see that happening. Right, and then publicly, the public donations, like the institutional, the other government and bodies. So the French embassy has delivered to Haiti 20,000 masks and have recommitted 1.2 million euros from. Why is this not allowing me?
finish reading this. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, there we go. All right, where was I? Here we go. Have committed 1.2 million euros from the French Development Agency, right? Specifically to help, the competitor to the DASH clinic centers. They call them the GESCO centers. Again, these are health clinics that are really the point of first contact for a lot of Haitians whenever they're sick, and they charge very affordable rates to be seen, like 1,000 good, very often. Sometimes, depending on what they have, maybe 250 good. Very, very affordable, relatively speaking, rates for to be seen. They're recommitting 1.2 million euros to help with the facilitation of these centers, which is again very, very important news for the common Haitian. Additionally, Spain has provided $500,000 to DENEPA. DENEPA, of course, is the sanitation department for Haiti. They handle a lot of the water, and of course, if Haiti really had a sewage thing, DENEPA would handle it. But I know for sure, I can tell you, being in the country, and DENEPA has probably done more infrastructurally than from any functional department group in Haiti than I've seen any other. For example, right across the street from where I reside in my office, they've actually put in a system where a lot of the homes and offices on Route Fouet can actually tap into running water. Like literally what we're used to in America, where like you go to your bathroom because a lot of Haitians, not to say that it doesn't exist, but the way it's set up in Haiti, you have to get a water truck to drop water into a hole on your property, and then you have a water pump usually then to bring it up to the roof, and then as you use it, it's coming from Yushadoro is what they call it, right? For those who don't know. But the fact that DENEPA is connecting more and more homes and more properties to a proper one-stop shop water system that comes from the city, and you pay monthly just like you do here in America, is phenomenal. And I know there's another residential area not too far from where I reside that they've literally built a water treatment plant to provide water to that area and commune. So these are important infrastructure projects that DENEPA is really delivering on, right? And unlike EDH, folks are actually paying because they see the value added, right? Folks in Haiti will always pay for public services if they actually see it functioning. And DENEPA has been doing a great job. So Spain has donated $500,000 to DENEPA, and Spain has been doing this, by the way, for years. In fact, one of the Spain things I got asked, because it's Haiti, Spain was looking to produce a very modern sewage treatment facility. Haiti only has one right now, and that only happened after the cholera update. Haiti is one of the the only country in the world that doesn't have a centralized sewage system. And up until about 2014, Haiti didn't even have a formal sewage facility. Literally, what folks would do is they would go and dump sewage in the what's the word I'm looking for? The trash plant, or what do you call that? What do you call that? Help me out here. Trying to blink. What is that? Landfill. Thank you. Wife had to help me in the corner over there. Right, the landfill. Right, that was how sewage was being handled in the freaking landfill. Right, until very recently, a open-aired sewage treatment facility was developed after the cholera update. But even then, Spain was pushing for even before all this, because Spain has been pushing water sanitation in Haiti since 2009, honestly, and they've put money where their mouth is. Since 2009, Spain has provided $120 million to Haiti, right? Specifically to the water and sanitation, right? And Spain was looking to around just a little east of La Fito, Titayen, right? So that's what it is, Titayen. In Titayen area in Haiti, Spain was looking to help, actually build a very modern sewage treatment facility. But as so many things in Haiti, it's very difficult to do anything in Haiti because land, and as soon as anyone hears that the Haitian government
is trying to do something in any land, you'll see a million people. I'm not being, hyperbolic here. A million people show up and say, yeah, that land belongs to me. Give me money, right? And nothing really ever gets done, right? And that's what's happened there. But nonetheless, I mentioned all this to say Spain has been a partner for Haiti, for the water sanitation for a long time, and particularly they upped their money this time because they understand a big part of how you prevent COVID from being very aggressive and spread is by ensuring folks have access to water and a clean environment, right? So that's the news there when it comes to the public support, right? Which piggybacks again what I just mentioned, which was again, a lot of private actors have stepped up, and a lot of international public actors have continued to provide and step up, and they're stepping up in the right, in my opinion, a much more sustainable way than others. I mean, though, I feel like the only folks who still honestly donate to or provide aid to Haiti in a way that is damaging is Taiwan. Taiwan consistently and continually provides aid in the most patronizing way, right? They'll in Japan as well. Japan is another one where in the most, but even though Japan is doing some structural work, I know there's a very large bridge that as you leave Port-au-Prince through and you're going to the north, Japan is building this very important bridge. I think, and that's part of 2 or 3 different bridges they're actually working on. So I take that as for salt, a grain of salt. So they are doing some real structural things, but still, those 2 countries really enjoy just dumping rice, to Haiti, right? They just, here's rice, and that's the worst way to help Haiti. The only way, honestly, food aid should be provided to Haiti is by helping farmers produce more. Period. Right? Get seeds in the hands of Haitian farmers. Get tools, help with their irrigation, help with their training, right? Allow them to produce more, period, right? The importation of food has just eviscerated the local economy and is not the way you help a people. You help them by teaching the fish, giving them fishing rods, telling them where the best fish spots are, but it's not by just giving them fish. Right, because the moment you leave, you'll go nguako, as they say. But yes, everyone who watches knows this. I'm speaking to the choir, right? I'm speaking to the choir, so I won't belabor the point. You guys know, right? So let's take a quick pause. Let's see what folks are saying in the chat. Eva Alexis says, I was seeing a video where there was a railway system which transported agriculture throughout the country and employed many. Correct. I think the last railway that was in the country was unfortunately pilfered in the early 1990s. But throughout under Duvalier was pretty aggressive in doing things as a dictator to consolidate power. He never invested in roads. He did not, and he disinvested in the railway, anything that could help a rebellion against him. He's one of the reasons why around Port-au-Prince things are so deforested, because he wanted to be able to see things. So literally he had a campaign and cut down every tree in the visible line of Haiti, and there between, and in addition to the visible line, but also between Port-au-Prince and the Dominican Republic, because again, in his mind, a lot of rebellions came from Dominican Republic, and so he would ensure that he wouldn't be blindsided by a rebellion by very aggressively cutting down trees. Now, I'm not saying the deforestation has really he started it, put it like that. Of course, the economic conditions of Haiti made it a lot worse, but he started it, right? And so yes, Haiti was one of the first countries that had railways in the entire Caribbean. Our first railways were introduced in the country in 1876, and we had some of the most, well put together networks overall in the Caribbean. But that all basically fell to the wayside because it doesn't pay a dictator to facilitate movement
in the country that he's trying to keep under wraps, right? And so that's the history as relates to that, right? So FHC goes PHTK, and we appreciate how you're focusing on presenting the facts. It's a relief to have a platform about the homeland without getting into politics. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. FC, even though there are folks who would love for me to get in that direction, but I got to remind folks, we're here just to present the facts and what's being done to progress the country in an economically sustainable way, right? So we're here to do. Titayen, thank you, Kanal. Alfred, good afternoon. Good to see you, Alfred. Next time you're getting points. Next time you have to bring pate for the whole class. Bus rider guy, good to see you. Landfill, absolutely right. Landfill, it's over. Titayen, yeah. Kanal David follows up, says, why can the government exercise their right of eminent domain to take the land for greater purpose? So that's what happens, though, Kanal. What happens is the Haitian government uses eminent domain. There you go. Whew. Tongue's tired today. But eminent domain doesn't mean, hey, we just take it. Eminent domain means we give you a fair price for it, right? Whoever owns the land will give you a fair price. That's what that means, right? We don't live in a world where governments can just take your land, right? Governments can say, okay, you have to sell your land, right? But the government gives you money for it, right? So we don't live in that world where government can just take land. They can force you to sell, but they can't take it, right? So if they force you to sell, that implies automatically money has to be dispersed from that government to whoever the owner is, right? But that's where the problem then becomes, because as you know, Haiti has one of the worst property rights legal system on the planet, right? And so honestly, anyone can get land for anywhere just by simply being on it, right? Just being on it for over 4 years, you have squatter rights. That's something that's actually enshrined in the Constitution and the legal system of Haiti, right? So in between squatters, in between folks who said they may have deeds and land from way back, in between the folks who just paid a notary to give them something, in between just the outright fraud and forgery that exists, right? In between, there is no centralized database for land. It's just a bunch of pieces of paper that sit in the bureau of somebody's, of a notary in particular, right? All these contribute to the chaos of doing business in Haiti. One of the most perilous things you can do is buy land. I hear a lot of folks, oh, I can't wait to go in Haiti and buy some land. But you understand that's easily the most perilous thing you can do. And that's one of the things you have to take very slowly and ensure there is a proper documentation and story to why the person who's selling this land can assure you that this land will not have multiple land rights or land disputes when you build it, because some of the unavoidable horror stories that you hear when it comes to doing business in Haiti, right? For example, most recently in Cap Haitien, there was a story of a guy who was building a hotel, and people around the community burnt the hotel, right? Hate to share those stories, but they exist. But then when you dig around, you say, okay, so why did it happen? Land dispute. A lot of people in the area said the guy took more property from his sale than was allowed, right? And people in the community have been removed from land that they've been on for decades, right? But again, they never bought it. They were just squatting, right? And because they were squatting, they felt they had rights to it. And actually, they technically do, right? But the person who actually was on the land, who owned the land, who had the deed to the land, sold it, right? He had legal deed to the land and sold it to the hotel owner. But again, that's where you get into these fights, these very nasty fights that, though, and by the way, they did go to court. The court sided with the hotel owner, but again, that's when, even that's not necessarily clear, because all it takes is the right couple bucks in the right person's pocket, and that's how the legal system goes in Haiti for many things, for just about everything, right? Unfortunately. And so again, when it comes to land, so I just gave a very long explanation to why, you know, land is the most dicey thing, right? And honestly, you know, the amount of progress that can exist in the country will always be stymied until we have legitimate, real land reform. And that's one of the reasons why today's episode is so important, because we have some very important updates to the legal land real estate law. So let me keep moving forward so we can jump into that conversation here. Bus Rider says Haitian landowners sometimes don't care about the rule of law. Sally, correct. That is true. Yes, we're going to be talking about it soon, Whitney. Don't you worry about that. Let's see. We got Gene Roseman. What's up, man? Good to see you. Gene Roseman, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it. Certainly, again, let's reach out. In fact, send me a message. Send me a DM, Gene. We gotta connect, man. You know, you've been doing some really interesting stuff there. Whitney follows up, says DINEPA, D-I, how you spell DINEPA? There it is. Yeah, D-I-N-E-P-A, DINEPA. It's an acronym for, you know, a much larger name, right? Yep. All right, appreciate those comments. Keep them coming, guys. So next up, Bahamas. Wow. Unfortunately, some of the most, you know, a lot of Dominican Republic gets a lot of negative attention for how they treat the Haitians there, but I'm telling you, very close second, and perhaps I think even in first place in terms of how Haitians get mistreated, it's in the Bahamas. And if you guys remember when the hurricane hit the Bahamas last year, you remember how there were some voice notes of how the Bahamians were blaming Haitians for things that, you know, there was no facts behind, and even some folks were saying we got to get them out, we got to kill them, right? You know, it's very concerning the amount of near genocidal hate for Haitians who are in Haiti, and this is from, you know, your own Black people, right? You know, but so to add to that news is that very recently, the Bahamian Detention Center, which has over 133 Haitians, you know, Haitians have been fed up. You know, they've complained about mistreatment. They've complained about the lack of medical care. They've complained about the lack of attention, the lack of protection against COVID, right? And honestly, they're asking to leave. They're asking to be repatriated back to Haiti, right? They're kind of stuck in this limbo area where they're in fact being abused. And so protests broke out recently at the detention center of the Bahamas. We've had folks who are going on hunger strikes at the Bahamian Center, simultaneously going on hunger strikes. And others, you know, have tried to escape the dormitory. They've tried to escape, and damage has been done to the facility, with Haitians trying to get out. And, you know, because you can imagine they're in situations where they're, you know, in dire situation. It's a humanitarian crisis at this detention center by all accounts right now. And so it's surprising they haven't made news. Obviously, there's so much, you know, stuff going on in the world right now, so it hasn't made a lot of news. But certainly, you know, you're hearing it here on Haiti Biz News. And of course, if you know anyone in the Bahamas, have any family in the Bahamas, certainly it's important to see if you can communicate with them. Certainly, if it's important to see if you can see if there's anything that can be done for our Haitian brothers and sisters who are, you know, being very treated very poorly in the Bahamas right now. You know, and if anyone is aware of any donation campaigns or any initiatives happening right now for the Bahamas, please share it with me, and I will reshare it on my page so we can get the word out. Because again, this is problematic, and anywhere our Haitian brothers and sisters are being mistreated, because it could be you, right? You know this. It probably was you, right? When I say was you, it probably was your mom or dad, you know, a generation before, who left Haiti in dire straits trying to improve themselves, improve their situation. And imagine your mother or father, you know, being in that sort of situation. And it's very, very heinous to have. Again, I think it bothers me. Dominicans, I understand this history of the Dominican Republic. You know, listen, we took over the other side of the island. Listen, for 22 years,
Haiti ruled the Dominican Republic. When they celebrate their independence, they celebrate their independence not from Spain, but from us. Right? So I can get why DR doesn't really F with Haitians. Okay, I can buy that. But Bahamians, you're black. I'm black. What's the matter with you guys? You see what I'm saying? I get more offended by those stories than I do from the Dominican Republic. And if anything, it might be time to consider doing, because for a while, to this day, I know a lot of Haitians still will not spend $1 in DR on DR products. It might be time to consider, us as a community to embargo, right? There's a better word. Embargo is not the word, but when you don't spend money, right? The Bahamian economy, right? It might be time to consider that, because these stories are constantly happening and constantly occurring, and something really needs to be done, and attention really needs to be focused on the fact that the Bahamians are extremely maltreating. When I say Bahamian, the government, in addition to the general mood of many in the population, have been very much to mistreat, right? So again, a call to action, guys. If you hear anything that in terms of donations or anything that may be happening in the Bahamas, please share that with me so I can reshare it across the network. Okay. So that's the extent of. Let's take a quick pause here. See what folks are saying. G. Darius, land is your wealth in Haiti. Correct. Juvie Lover says, okay, thank you. Saga fet nou la oui. Juvie, merci mka wako. Première fois moi comment show. Merci. Thank you. So we'll keep at it. All right. Let's see what folks are saying here. So hello to a lot of folks here. Your tax CPA, what's going on? I think is that Carl Perry popped in here real quick. Carl, good to see you, brother. If you probably left already, but good to see you if you are there. Carl Perry, of course, is at the head of Chacarella, the media entity in Haiti, doing some really great stuff and impacting. So again, I'm sure you guys are already following Chacarella. I'm sure Chacarella is spelled Chokarella. If you guys aren't following that, make sure to go change that. Go change that and go follow. They're doing some really innovative things. The sort of things that make me laugh when I watch these verses in Haiti. When I watch these verses in Haiti, not in Haiti, but in America, and I see the level of connectivity we've had in a lot of the different things we've produced streaming wise in Haiti. I'm always wondering, like, why can't American media companies get it together like we have done in Haiti? It's a very, very funny thing when I watch Babyface and what was the other guy? Babyface and you know what I'm talking about, guys who know and how the sound quality is bad. 112 versus who were they versing the other day? 112 versus whoever they're versing, and how bad the sound system was. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. Let me get back on topic. So the economic effect of COVID, we got to talk about it. Economic effect of COVID. The numbers are in, right? Minister of Economic and Finance, they're reporting that in the month of March, between March and April, Haiti lost 32% of its tech jobs and textile. What is that? Was that 18,000 jobs were lost? 18,000 jobs were lost. Right? Of course, that's during the month when the Haitian government said, factories, in addition to a lot of different places, had to be closed. Right? They had to close them down. And as part of that, some folks were sort of furloughed, other folks were just sent home. Oh, and by the way, we're at that hour mark on Instagram, and so Instagram's gonna shut down. But please, come back online. We're gonna reboot the Instagram, and until I get a blue check mark. That's how it is. You have a 1 hour limit, so make sure, guys. Let me reboot it back up before I go too deep in this news story. Let me go back up. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me, guys. This is unfortunately the terrain. Okay. So rebooting back up here on IG. Bear with me. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. All right, posted. And we're going to re-hit that live button in just a second. Okay, there we go. Bear with me, folks. Motion blur is that. Okay, boom. We're back. We're back live. We're back live on Instagram. All right. You guys know what it is. It's always got to take these pauses an hour into the show because they changed their policy, unfortunately, on how long you can have your lives, which is ridiculous nowadays. At the same time, we move to a world where folks are doing lives, they decide to restrict people's lives to an hour. It's the craziest thing. It's bananas. In any case, thanks folks for coming back on IG. Appreciate it. And of course, guys, you can always, YouTube and Facebook, you always can go on there, and there's no time restrictions there. We're doing lives on there too. So where was I? So initial economic effect of COVID: 18,000 jobs were lost. 32% of the entire textile job market lost their jobs. Right, from 55,000 employees to 36,000. As you know, the number one export of Haiti is textiles, and so that's one of the reasons why we saw. Right now, as I'm talking to you right now, the good is sitting at 106 or 107 HTG per dollar. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why is we've, one of our biggest exports, one of the biggest things that actually help our currency stay and keep its strength has unfortunately been impacted, right? And that's why we're seeing, these situations. I certainly hope other employers are like this, but certainly for me, I've had to reevaluate and change my employees' salaries each month the past few months to keep up with the rate of depreciation of the good. Luckily for me, I make all my income for my companies in dollars, right? So it's not a big deal for me. But if I was a domestic facing company where my money comes in good, it'll be hard to reevaluate my people's salaries. Because I'd be experiencing the same thing, right? My income would be going down because the value of the good is going down. And honestly, in almost every case, in every situation, right? In every situation, we have, in every situation, we have a very negative thing happen where, if you know anything about Haiti, property, and expenses that really matter, like your rent, they're fixed in dollars, right? You have to give it to them in dollars, right? And so that means if I was making money domestically in Haiti, what it would mean that my hard expenses are still in dollars, but yet the good is depreciating, right? And now, how can I adjust and do the right thing and adjust the salary of my employees appropriately? I couldn't be able to do that. I can do that because all my business, outsourcing company, staffing, all that, I work with companies abroad or trying to do stuff in Haiti, and I get paid in dollars, which gives me that flexibility to do the right thing, right? And it's another reason why I really try to advocate and beg and plead folks to really, when they're coming to Haiti to do business, think about how you can set up your business to be outward facing, because that's how you maximize value. That's how you maximize your capacity to sustain, is when you build a business that looks outwards, right? For example, Ascania Chocolates, fantastic business, right? They create chocolate bars and buy cocoa from cocoa farmers in the Northwest, and then sells their chocolates to the international community, right? And so businesses like that, I wish more Haitians could think about really how can they put something. Instead, most Haitians I know, you voulez prendre un petit doom, you mette quelque part dans doom nan, voye machine nan plein avec radot, avec champagne, afin de revendre you at Haiti. That's not business. Yeah, you're making a quick buck, but you're not really helping anybody. Really, you're certainly not helping the economy, right? Not in a sustainable way, right? So that's the news. Actually, before I want to say I want to give a quick shout out to two people really quick. Juvie Lover, thank you so much. As a new person who I just came into the channel, already gave us $5. Holy crap! Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's going to go in the war chest to produce content. Also, Lionel Pierre, I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Gave $20 just now. I mean, I'm being inundated today. Today, you guys are breaking records. We're pushing almost $100 in donations in the YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm tearing up here. I want to appreciate it. I want to thank you guys for it. Again, it's going to the war chest so we can produce phenomenal content once COVID leaves us alone. Once I can get back on that plane and back to Haiti, I will put all those together and be able to really see what we can do, which will be, because here's the reality, especially why sometimes maybe my biggest complaint a lot of times is, Chris, a lot of the stuff you do is in Port-au-Prince, right? But the thing is, my content, it's not just me. My content, it's I have a team. I have a videographer, and usually I have a camera person, right? And so if I'm going to go out and leave Port-au-Prince, then generally speaking, I have to pay hotels. I got to pay food for my guys, right? Versus if it's in the city, then we just go, we shoot, we do our thing, and then the guys go home, right? But if we're going to Jacmel, if we're going to Cap Haitien, if we're going to Okai, right? Those are day trips, right? And so there's real expenses, right? And so when I say thank you and I appreciate it, and this is going to go to create content, it's going to go help subsidize the real expenses of going outside of the Port-au-Prince area, right? So again, Lionel and Juvie Lover and everyone else who provided today, thank you. You're appreciated, and you're certainly going to be a part of getting some very qualitative content back once the airports are reopened. So again, thank you again. Can't say enough. All right. So going back to the economic impact of COVID. So estimates are, they're saying that they do expect the numbers to go up. So again, in April it was 36,000. They do expect that the numbers to go up just a bit to 40,000, because remember, it was in May that there was a partial reopening of the factories. Jovenel didn't allow a partial reopening of factories, assuming folks follow the proper guidelines, had masks, wash their hands, stay distanced away. Even though we did have some reports of that not happening, but nonetheless, I think they've allowed for up to 30% capacity for these factories to reopen, and on top of that too, a lot of factories that went idle for a little bit, the government ordered 10 million masks to be produced from these factories, which is huge, right? 10 million masks to be produced by these factories. So with the goal of helping keep these companies afloat, keep these companies solvent, and keep these companies employing. In addition to, by the way, just so you know, the Jovenel Moise government also provided salary support. I think for at least 1 month, they provided up to 50% of these employees' salaries, which actually went out. We reported on this a few weeks ago, where it was reported that it went out. The salary, these workers were able to receive 50% of their salary as well, which is, again, we're not impartial to good news. The response of the Moise administration has been, surprisingly good, given the realities of Haiti. But nonetheless, to wrap up that news story, we do expect a lot of the American embassy, anyways, came on record and said they do expect by June of next year, numbers should be restored. You should be back at the 54 or 55,000 mark. Right now, we certainly want more. It's unfortunate we had this dip. We actually, the numbers really should be, if we're at 55,000 in March, we really should be at 100,000 by next year, right? That's the sort of growth that really could impact and be a part and change Haiti for the better, right? But we'll take what we can. Right? and if we can get back to our normal levels where we were in by next June, that will be good news, right? So that is the update for the economic effect of COVID. These are the first real numbers we're getting. Everything else has been sort of, we think this, that, minus the deaths and active cases. This has been the first real economic indicative numbers for COVID. And as time goes on, we're going to see more of it. And of course, that's what I like to talk about. I don't like to talk about what we think is going to happen. I like to talk about what has happened. Right. And so we'll be talking more and more as more numbers come out for this past, March going into April. We'll talk more about that. Right. So let's take a look and see what folks are saying in the chat. Let's go to YouTube right now. Lots of folks on the YouTube channel right now. Lots of live watchers right now. Let's go and take a look and see what folks are saying. Let's scroll all the way up. Lots of stuff to read here. Let's keep on going up. Let's keep on going. Okay, here we go. So this is Haiti. Facts, how the Bahamians treat them over there, from police, government officials, neighborhoods, black on black hate. It's very disappointing. SMH, I certainly agree with you. This is Haiti. This is, it's heartbreaking, really. But certainly, again, anyone who knows of anything that's happening in Bahamas in terms of to help the current situation that I reported on, please share that with me. Manu Musa says, Haiti did not take over DR. The Treaty of Basel in 1795. Spain seceded DR to France. So when Haiti gained independence from France, they gained independence from the whole island. You're absolutely right, right? You're absolutely right. A man knows his history, right? But nonetheless, they still were being administered independently from Haiti, right? And so Haiti had to go and actually, to be fair, if we're really going to be real, right? What had happened was around the time of Boyer, the Dominican, there was a very aggressive push for independence from DR, and to help, they invited Boyer to come over and help them with their in the fight of independence, right? Because there were some French and Spanish garrisons on that side of the island, and so we kind of walked in there and we stayed. As we're gonna be real about history, right? So yeah, but thanks for the clarity. It's always important. The nuance of history is very important, right? The nuance of history is very important. We got Cesar Nazare. Love the show. Very informative. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Manu Matsumusa follows up. I'll let you guys talk it out, since it's directed towards him. Franz Camille says, don't care how bad Haiti is doing. I can't see myself investing any of the money in Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic. We are the diaspora, and we need to start changing the Haiti the best we can. Franz, people are free to invest their money wherever they want to, but certainly Haiti won't change until folks are investing it in Haiti and doing it the right and smart way. And so, the overall argument there, I agree with you 100%, Franz. G. Darius 10, you have to pay attention to the economic hard reset, economic forum talking about. I don't know what you're trying to say here, G. Darius. Go a little more detail. Juvie Lover, support the channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Again, certainly thank you again for the donation, Juvie. Let's see. Mark Lafili says, hey, I really like the channel. You're doing a very good job. Appreciate it. No, thank you for watching, right? Certainly. And I do hope you share, do share this stream, right? But certainly thank you. Appreciate it. Kanal David says, while we're on the economic subject, can you share your thoughts on the reason why banks in Haiti are not giving people their money in US dollars? Great question, Kanal. As always, thank you, Kanal. Number one, hold on, back up. I don't know about banks doing that. Let me back up. So number one, it's illegal, right? If you transfer your money in dollars, like, so you go to Western Union, you go to Com Transfer, you go to Uni Transfer, any of them, and you transfer money in dollars legally, they need to give the recipient it in dollars, period. Okay, so let's be clear. The law, this is Haitian law, very clear, right? And this is not, they're not even Haitian law. It's like international law in terms of how these transfers are supposed to be regulated. Okay, all right, that's one. Number two, they get away with it simply because there's no enforcement, right? Let's just be clear on that, Canal. There's no enforcement, right? There should be a division in the police that you can call whenever you're in a transfer and they try to, do this nonsense and give it to you in good. You should be able to make a phone call and get it fixed, right? But that's a failure of, the government. That's number two. Number three, it's not that they don't even have the money, right? Because what happens is, it's very important to understand this. Say you're a recipient in Haiti and you're getting your money, and they say, "Oh, no bagay dollar, no, me good la." Okay, right. So they give it to you in good. Check this out. If you turn around and say, "Okay, I want to transfer this money that I have that you just gave me. I want to now convert it to dollars," somehow they'll find the money. Somehow they'll find the dollars to give you. You follow me? It's not that they don't have the dollars, but, and by the way, when you do it that way, you lose a lot of because when you're exchanging it from good to dollars, you lose quite a bit of, because they got to make money, from it, right? The exchange rate, right? And they make money from that exchange, right? And they keep their money, their dollars around just so they can make that exchange happen, right? And make money off it, right? So the long story short, Canal, these transfers when they do that, they're illegal. The final point I want to say, Canal, is that banks aren't necessarily doing that. Not that that's why I kind of, when you said the word banks, like financial institutions are doing it, transfer companies are doing it, but I'm not here. So what banks are doing, they're restricting the amount of money, dollars you can take out your own account, right? They're only allowing so much per day. And I believe actually that's not even them. I think that's the central bank directing them to say, hey, we can't, have so much dollars circulating. So you can only have so many dollars taken out of your bank. So that's actually the central bank saying that. And that's the only thing I've heard. Banks are actually pretty good in terms of, getting dollars to people, right? So just want to clarify all those points for you. The great question. Certainly appreciate it. And Lionel, again, thanks so much again, brother. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Again, thanks for the support. Canal David says, for example, we want a money transfer service in Jacmel. We had to make a withdrawal, but the bank refused to give us dollars and issued all good for us. Okay, well, thanks for that specific story. Right? That's why I was like, I didn't quite, I knew. So that's why I think the reason why that happened, Canal, and what Canal just said was that he owns a transfer company, and it's an interesting concept too. That what Canal just told me is that basically the money transfers are doing what they're doing because they themselves are getting good from the banks and not dollars. See, this is why it's so important we have this engagement. That's why it's so important that we have other people here in the chat to add their perspective and their real experiences. So again, thank you for that, Canal. I certainly appreciate that. But it goes back to my original answer, which was, again, the banks themselves have hard restrictions in terms of how much dollars they can provide, right? I wonder if you had tried to go back and say, hey, okay, instead of 15,000, can you give me 5,000? And then you go back the next day and say, hey, can I get 5,000? And you go back the next day, can I get 5,000? And then that's how you get your 15,000. That might be something you want to look into, Canal. Look, what is the restriction in your area? Are Okay, think we're back on. Am I back on? What internet I'm on? Okay, I'm back on. All right. All right. So I think we should be back. We should be back. Sorry about that. Had some internet there. Okay. So where was I? Yeah. So just responding to Kanal. I was responding to Kanal and saying basically how we can. I can't hear on IG. Should be fine now though. On IG should be fine now. I think. So we switch back to internet. But you guys let me know on IG if internet's back. If you guys can hear me, right? Let me do a sound check. Okay, I should be back. Let's keep it moving. So yeah, Kunal, yeah, sort of let me know on your perspective, on your side, if you can divvy up your money, and if it will be a different experience on your side, right? If it'll be a different experience on your side, you let me know. So next up, Daniel. Hey, Daniel, good to see you, man. I don't know if I said good morning to you already, but good morning. Good to see you. Give the fee for those trips. I will pay for a trip to Artibonite, Léogane, and Jacmel. I'm gonna take you up on that challenge, Daniel. Feel free, and my email is in the description below, and let's chat because I am hungry to produce more content. Outside of Port-au-Prince, I'm telling you, the real Haiti is outside in Port-au-Prince. So I'm hungry for it. So Daniel, I'm gonna take you up on it. You got it messed up. So feel free, reach out to me. Let's chat. Lionel Pierre, he's sharing it. Thank you so much, Lionel, for sharing it. Appreciate it. Canal David says Capital Bank has a ceiling of 500. Yep, that's what I hear. It's about $500 US. It's ridiculous, and they're doing that to all the agents. The money transfer are taking heat for this. Yeah. So Canal, you know what it is. That's what it is. And again, it's coming from the central bank. Understand that, Canal. It's coming from the central bank. The central bank themselves are saying, hey, you guys can only take out so many dollars, out to distribute in the larger economy. So that's the situation that Canal, one thing I could suggest you do, it's not right, but if you did have multiple different accounts at your bank, you know what I mean? Then this way, you can have one person walk in, take out 500, another person walk in, take another, who are employees of your bank. Hate to do it like that. It's a little shady. It's probably illegal, I suspect. But certainly, if you have business needs, you got to think creatively to try to get the funding that you need to function. If you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's thanks for sharing that situation. That's the reality of Haiti, which is you have a lot of constraints on the currency that's affecting negatively. Daniel Dodard putting money where his mouth is. Not only said he wants to reach out and know how the fees associated with us doing content outside of Haiti, but also doubling up and adding $10 to the war chest. I think officially takes us over $100 for the day. Thank you so much, Daniel. You appreciate it. You're the true MVP. Certainly, thank you for that, and it's going to really impact what we do here. Certainly. So again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. G Darius 10 says, go to the Economic Forum website. They're talking about the World Economic Hard Reset that will affect all countries. Okay, I will go to the Economic Forum website and check that out after the stream. Thanks for that, G Darius 10. Regina Barjon, good to see you, my dear. Good to have you in the chat. Regina is a part of an association of companies that are producing hand sanitizers in Haiti. Right, just incredible. Right, they're producing Dr. King brand for Haiti, and another brand called San Pure, which is being exported out to America, which is incredible. So, Regina, feel free if you've got a website yet or a page yet for the company, please drop it in the comments. Let folks know where they can potentially be able to purchase, because they are looking for sellers. They're a wholesale distributor. They don't sell necessarily retail specifically. So if you reach out to Regina, you want to buy some of her hand sanitizer product in bulk, feel free. She's certainly open to orders. So Regina, feel free to drop your contact information so folks who are interested can contact you. All right. G Darius, it's Agenda 2025. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at the form for sure.
Okay, Regina, website under construction. Change ça. Get it something real basic. You can go to Shopify, get something real basic just to kind of act as a landing page so folks can be able to contact you. But nonetheless, that product they're doing some really great stuff. And keep it going, Regina. Keep it going. That's what we need. We need local production being done. And by the way, Regina, she's of the Haitian diaspora. By the way, she currently lives in New York, but New York and diaspora, and but still impacting, investing, and getting economic production done. So hats off to Regina, anyone and everyone like her. Okay. All right. So the next news story, very important. We got to talk about it. The next news story, very important. This is, stop the presses. Stop the presses. In fact, I'm probably going to edit this part of the video. I'm going to probably make this just its own video by itself. It is so important, right? Because why is this important? Real estate law has changed. Haiti suffers from structural issues in its legal environment that makes business difficult, right? Parliamentarians, deputies, and senators, they don't do their job, right? They spend 90% of their time in office going to war with the president, even though constitutionally the president has no power. Constitutionally, all power, I'm going to say it again, all power resides with the Senate and with the deputy. Right? The deputies, it's the Chamber of Deputies. They know this, but it's easier to make the president, any president, again, I'm not talking about Moise, I'm not talking about Martley, I'm talking any president who gets elected. It's easier for them to spend all their time making it seem as if all progress is being stopped by this president, right? And meanwhile, they're doing what they do. Mais on a toute sauce, comme you dit. Right? Because the longer they can not do any work and they can make, the Haitian senators and deputies are the highest paid political representatives in the Caribbean, by the way. So, they're the highest paid. Jamaica's a very close second. But, so while they're making their money, they do no work, right? Just to be clear. Right? That's why I have a very strong disdain, not necessarily for whoever's in the presidency, but I have a very strong disdain for politicians, deputies, and senators in particular. There's some good ones, don't get me wrong, but most aren't, right? Most prefer to spend their time not passing legislation, right? Again, this is not just me going off a tangent here and just showing my disdain. Like literally, the past 5 years when Parliament was in session, they passed 5 laws or passed 5 bills. One of the bills was an anti-monitoring bill forced upon them by the U.S. government, right? Because if they didn't pass it, they would not have been a part of the international banking system, right? And even then, they passed the deadline. They had to go into like an overnight session to get it done. Very embarrassing stuff. Very embarrassing. And the other law they passed was a bill that made compa into a national heritage item, which is cool. That's not a bad thing. Right. But when you have real legislative things to be done, such as what we're going to talk about, it's infuriating. OK, so I want you to I took a second here just to put it in context, the situation in Haiti and why if Haiti ever is going to change, we need folks to understand and put all the pressure to stop talking about the president. OK, it's not about the president. When folks start putting pressure on where it needs to be put on, which is the senators and the deputies, those are who hold all power in the country. Okay. All right. And to get laws passed. All right. You follow me? Okay. Now, finally, I built it up. So what's happened? Real estate law has changed. Okay. There was a law passed in the Chamber of Deputies way back when. They actually did a little function. They actually did their job in the Chamber of Deputy, but this is back 2017, I believe that law was passed. It's from 2017. Okay, it passed Chamber of Deputies. It went to the Senate, untouched, no debate. It was never voted. The senators were too busy trying to impeach the president and go to war and make pay lock and all that. Right? It sat. And it wasn't until
April 2020 that President Moise, by decree, remember he's a king now. He can just make laws. He can just decree them and they become law. In April 2020, he made it into a decree, and now it's been published. May 11, officially published May 11. And this is important for many reasons. Why? The real estate law in Haiti, last time it was updated, it was in 1984, right? But the baseline of this law was created about 1956, 1957. This is how old the overall book of real estate legality is in Haiti, right? 1957 is when it was really completely revamped, updated 1984. Hasn't been touched since 1984, right? Now, this law, right? It's called this update, legislation of rental buildings, right? Legislation of rental buildings. All right. It's focused on, right, rental price changes. Because right now, legally speaking, up until this bill, this decree, you really can't change. You really could not change the price of what you rented to someone. Like once you sign a contract in Haiti, once you sign a contract in Haiti for rental price, that's you really, there's no reason at all you can change it. And this is not just month to month. Of course, we know that. This is talking about literally when the contract ends and it comes time to renegotiate. Legally speaking, all right, up until this point, if you change the price, you have to actually give it to someone else. But the same person was entitled to keep the price the same for that person in perpetuity. Just number one, right? That's legally speaking. That's number one. Number two, it was really hard to evict somebody, like really hard to evict somebody once they're in your a tenant. Basically you had to go 3 months of non-payment before you could start the process of evicting somebody in Haiti, right? Which is why, by the way, those who know Haiti are like, 3 months, what are you talking about? You pay either 6 months or a year in Haiti. That is why. That's one of the reasons why in Haiti, folks, when you do a legal contract, a residential contract, they don't do months. They do just for the year, right? To avoid this situation where somebody can go 3 months, not pay, and then you have to go, then go through the courts. And honestly, there's the process to evict somebody can go as long as 4 years. I mean, there's been studies that have been done. It can take almost 4 years to evict someone in Haiti, the way things were set up. Okay, you follow me? I'm just building up how things were and how things are changing, right? And furthermore, if there was even, like, say, you're a landlord, you had very little incentive to do improvements on your property because you couldn't charge more for those improvements, right? Whatever you're locked in. That's it. So you had no incentive to do any real work or improvement on the property, right? Because you couldn't change the rental price, right? So what this decree does, and why it's so important, first off, number one, it allows folks to change prices at the end of the lease contract, right? And when it comes time to renew, this is mind-blowing, right? Mind-blowing, guys. You can actually change the price to whatever the market has changed to. I know it took 20 years for something like this to be legislated on, right? And then finally put into law. But so that's number one, right? That's number one, right? And number two, this is the big one. After someone misses payment for 2 months, right? They go 2 months and they miss payment automatically. The lease contract is canceled. Not only is it canceled, when you go to court, you don't go to court to try to evict them, right? You go to court to get your money. Like that's how it works now. Like after 2 months you miss payments, you can just cancel the contract. You can get them out, right? And then the going to court now is about, because they're legally liable now for the rest of the rent. So say if they had 6 months left contractually, they owe you 6 months. On top of that,
then go out and you can put somebody else in, and you can just worry about getting the money they owed you contractually. And that is massively important for the rule of law and rule of contracts. As you know, Haiti has very, porous, has had porous track record in terms of how contracts are honored, right? Which is problematic. If country is ever really going to be a place for business, contracts have to be honored, enforced, to the full extent of the law, right? So massive. So that's big, right? And thirdly, too, if a landlord does any improvements on their property, they even actually this little gray area, a little trickier, but let's just try to understand what the law is. If a landlord does improvements on their property, then so long as they give at least 3 months notice, even while they're under contract, 3 months notice of a price change, they can change the price of rent. Right now, I know it's a little gray area. I can already see some very unsalacious sort of people using that as a loophole to up the rent on people. They can just change a door and then say, yeah, I made a change to the property, give me $1,000 more per month. I can see that happening. It's unfortunate. Human beings can be disgusting animals and take advantage of things that are meant to do good. So I can see that happening for sure. I certainly would hope that if taken to court, the judge would see through a very heinous action like that and say, no, you just changed the door and you're charging $1,000. Get out of here. This is throw it out of court. We certainly hope that would happen. We'll keep track on that particular line item of the law, but minus those salacious people, right? I think this is great because it incentivizes landlords to not only maintain but improve the property that they own, right? Because now, okay, if I go ahead and fix the roof, right? If I go ahead and add solar panels to the property, if I go ahead and update the security system, when I say security, like walls, better walls of a property, right? Then guess what? I can turn around and say, hey, I made real structural improvements to the property that I charge for, right? So that there's incentive now for improvement of conditions of property. And that's good. That's great news. That's great news, right? So that's the update. That's the update. This is the first time, honestly, guys, I've been reporting news, Haiti Biz News here for a while now, right? Two years, maybe a year and a half now, and this is the first time I can report, maybe second time. I think this, I want to say it's the second time I can report on. I think the first time actually probably was when solar panels, the law was updated by decree. It was always by decree because the parliament never does its job. They spend all their time, with propaganda against the president, even though all constitutional power is with them. That allowed solar panels or anything solar to be able to come in the country without being taxed. Import, there's no import tax on anything solar panel. That's massive. I can tell you myself. I know. I was looking at prices of solar panels before that act. The things were about $320 ish. After prices went down to, I think, as little as $200, and now it's even lower. I think it's last time I looked at solar panels, we're looking at less than even $200. So massive improvement in the price points, and certainly given the difficulties of electricity, it's very important. It says an overall system and sustainability of energy. It's important that things are more affordable, right? But very, very great news, and I can tell you, given that I just spent a good amount of time, I had asked that very good question about what makes eminent domain so difficult, right? The fact that we're getting something real, tangible, right, in the legal environment of land, of all things. I mean, this is honestly, again, this is why I'm going to cut this piece out. Is 139 is okay, and make its own video and drop, because this is massive news, and this is the sort of thing that certainly, functioning Haiti will have this happen every other month. The real legislation that's going to be passed
to help with the structural difficulties of different aspects of economic activity. And being in rental and being able to rent, having these sort of protections as a landlord, to know that, hey, the person doesn't pay, I can evict them quickly. That's important, right? To know that if I invest in my property, I can raise the rent, right, to match the market value of the rent, right? So these are very important things that, again, great news and will encourage investment. So, whew, that felt great. This is why I report the news, why Haiti Biz News needs to be here, right? Because I don't know how many folks would have known about this if Haiti Biz News wasn't here. It's not published. These very important structural pieces of advancement often go underreported, right? It's so easy to focus on COVID and just all the negative stuff happening out of Haiti. So it's very, very, it warms my heart to be able to share that basic news. I honestly be aware of it myself, because honestly, if I wasn't in this domain and keeping track of the very close heartbeat of activity happening in the country, even myself, I'd miss out on this bit of information. So great news, and certainly we want more stories like this. Okay. So big shout out, Emmanuel David. Thank you so much, man. 350. Listen, anything provided helps tremendously. Goes into the war chest. Today has been an incredible episode. I think we're pushing $120 or something like that to the war chest. That's incredible. That's easily that's easily a trip, right? Because generally speaking, hotels in Haiti are about $120 a night. So that easily covers my team's room. They usually not bunk, but they twin beds. Is that easily today's money raised easily covers one hotel night for my team, and that's a massive reduction in cost for doing shoots outside of Port-au-Prince. So again, everyone who's donated today, thank you guys. You guys are incredible, real MVP, absolutely encouraging. Thank you guys. It really powers me up, charges me up. That I'm gonna have some a war chest to go to and tap into once the airports are open. So again, Emmanuel David, thank you for that. It's appreciated. Thank you so much. What Mini goes up says maybe you can interview Regine on Nous Parler series. I've interviewed her. Interviewed her for what? I've interviewed her. Interview her for what? I missed that. I think you're responding to something I was saying. Let me know what you meant by that. What Mini? Juvie Lover says great news. Absolutely right. If you already own the land, Juvie, if you already own the land, then great. If you don't own the land, I'd say take it easy. That doesn't change the buying of land process. Only that if you already own the land and how you would interact when it comes to renting, right? Clisson Guerrier, no problem, man. Thanks for listening to it, making it this far. We're about about an hour and 40 minutes in. So we still have folks listening. That's great. All right. X Colin, absolutely. No, thank you for watching. All right. And Juvie, absolutely no problem. Thank you again. All right. And IG is all quiet on IG, all quiet on IG. All right. Thanks for the folks who are watching on IG. All right. So let's head towards the end here. We got two news stories. Let's hit them out real quick, and then I'll give y'all back y'all Sundays. So earthquake. An earthquake happened. I'm not sure you guys are aware of this, but an earthquake did hit 4.7 on the Richter scale. But luckily, it was out in the water. There was no death reported, no structural damage reported that I could find. There were 5 aftershocks which folks felt, but again, no deaths reported, no structural building damage that I could find online. This happened on the 31st of May. But of course, this just reminds us, right? This just reminds us that, Haiti sits in a very vulnerable position between earthquakes, between hurricanes, and now, of course, COVID that's just sitting on top of a country. Sits very vulnerably. And it's so important that, we push for development, right? Because it's, if this happened closer to any city, Northeast being, Port-au-Prince, Saint Nicolas, right? If it happened any closer, this certainly, could have spelled death, right? in the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, like we saw in the earthquake that hit Port-au-Prince, right? In Leogane, right? So, certainly, we're appreciative that nothing happened to that earthquake in terms of lives, but certainly reminds us that at any time things could turn very drastic and very deadly for Haiti, and why it's so imperative that we don't sit on the sidelines as Haitians. We think very seriously on how we can impact and change the country, because we are responsible for every brother and sister that is actually the 12 million that are on the island. We are responsible for them. I am my brother's keeper, as they say. Smith Arger Paul Lemur says, I need to be in contact with you. How can we get in touch? So what you want to do is, this video has a description. Okay, and then you'll see there's a lot of different ways to get in contact me. My email is down there as well, right? So cgenty@hypro.solutions. So feel free, reach out to me, right? Or DM me. I'm on Instagram. DM me. Folks know I respond to my DMs so long as they're reasonable. I respond to my DMs on Instagram, even Facebook. Reach out to me on Facebook. Just any way you could get in contact with me, get in contact. I check them all, and I respond. All right. So Smith, there you go. X Colin says, is there infrastructure for IT companies to invest and start in Haiti? Is there infrastructure? So by definition, IT companies. What do you mean by IT companies? I don't quite follow. That's a very broad thing. So please be a little more specific, X Colin. Let me know what type of IT companies do you mean? Bounce Bougie 11 says, do I need a BS degree or master's to be part of a good business in Haiti? I don't know what you mean by that question either, Bounce Bougie. Haiti doesn't need you to come and take a job from a Haitian. Let me be very clear on that. Right? I hear this a lot about Haitian diaspora. Oh, I want to go back to Haiti and I want to work. Why? First off, what's considered good pay in Haiti, which usually ranges from $1,500 to $3,000 a month, right? Isn't considered good pay. That's what, let's say you're able to get an employer in Haiti to pay you the director level wage. Oh, wait. Bounce says not to work. But let me finish this thought, Bounce Bushy. This isn't directed to you. It's directed to people who reach out to me with this question. Okay. So even let's say if you get a director level salary of $3,000, right? That's only 3,000 by, that's 30,000 plus that's 36,000 a year. That's 36,000 a year, right? Now, don't get me wrong, some folks are making that right now who are watching me, so I'm not here to be disparaging all that. But it's not a lot of money, okay? To leave, because most people with a master's degree, like Bounce Bush just mentioned, you're usually going to make closer to 60 to 70,000 a year, okay? Follow me? So, but that's if you, again, to get a director position anywhere really, but especially you got to know people who know people. You know what I mean? Most likely you're going to make the professional minimum about $1,500 to $1,000 a month. And you're looking at that point, what, 12,000 to 20,000 a year? You see what I'm saying? Like, to come to Haiti to work, while sure, it fulfills a satisfaction in being in the country, there's different ways to go about it. First off, I always consult, if you're going to come to Haiti, start things that will give people jobs, right? Start an entity that will give people jobs rather than you take a job away from a Haitian, right? And that's another thing too. When you do that, you're taking away Haiti doesn't lack from competent people who could do good work. Haiti lacks jobs, period, right? So that's number one. Number two, I would consult folks instead to consider getting a remote job, right? Because if you get a remote job, that means you can get a job that's going to pay you the salary that you deserve, right? So if you're making 60, 75, 80,000, whatever a year, you can still make that money, but live in Haiti, right? And this way you're not, when you're doing it, you're really helping, because number one, you're not taking a job from a Haitian native. Okay. Number two, the fact that you're in the country, your cost of living is like a lot less than it would be if it was in America. Number three, because you're living in the country, by definition, the money you're making is circulating in the economy and providing power and capacity and improving the economic condition just by living. You don't have to do anything else. But just the fact that you're living in the country, working remotely, you're helping the economy because you have to transfer that money over and then you have to spend that money, right? So, by the way, we talk about the digital nomad, how to get those sort of jobs on my podcast on episode 2. My very first guest actually was a guy who inspired me to consider getting a remote sort of opportunity, and it's been very helpful in terms of giving me a stabilizer and allowing me to allow my business to really think about impact and not chase pennies. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Bounce Bougie, to answer your question now, I guess Bounce Bougie was saying, do you need it to move back and actually create business? This goes back to what I've responded in the past before, which is don't go to Haiti if you're not fully accomplished, right? A lot of folks, when I say fully accomplished, go to school, get your bachelor's, get your master's, get all your certifications, your career, whatever your career is, climb that ladder, right? Become a manager, become an executive, become endowed in your community, right? Johnson Napoleon said something that I like to repeat. There isn't just one Haiti. There's 13 Haitis, right? What does that mean? Florida has Little Haiti, right? Also, Florida also has North Miami. Florida also has Kendall, right? That's right there. That's 3 Haitis right there. Okay. Then Haiti, then you have Orlando. Orlando has a lot of Haitians. That's 4. Then you have New York. New York, there's a lot of Haitians in Harlem, right? A lot of Haitians in Brooklyn, right? A lot of Haitians all across. Right? Every borough has these little nooks of Haitians, right? And that's each a little Haiti. And then you go to Montreal. Montreal is, all of Montreal is a Haiti. To be honest with you, there's so many Haitians up there, right? And so each of these areas, you could focus your business venture on helping Haitians there, right? You can open up and invest in, for example, Little Haiti is being ravaged by gentrification. And the reason why it's being ravaged by gentrification is because young Haitian millennials, for generations, by the way, but we don't reinvest. Those who grew up in Little Haiti, they leave, right? They leave and they don't ever come back. They don't reopen businesses. They don't do anything for that community in a real sense. They don't buy property there. And so property is being purchased by other people who are not Haitians because parents are getting old, they're dying, right? And then when they get the property, right? What do? The kids, they sell it, right? But then they get mad. Then there's this big mad anger of, gentrification is ruining our communities. But we of the community who are productive, right? Who are educated, the first thing we want to do is leave the hood, right? Versus every other type of people, they invest in their hood, right? Little China, right? Little Korea, right? Every other little Italy. It's people. They're people who are they don't have a mindset. I gotta leave the hood. No, they have a mindset of I have to invest in my hood, and own my hood, and make my hood better for my people, right? And that's true for African Americans, and that's especially true for Haitians. So Bounce Bougie, I challenge you actually, right? To yes, get a master's, become accomplished in the country you're in, try to focus on the little Haiti next to you and wherever you reside, and then go to real Haiti, right? I think if we did that strategy and we went about it that way, right? Because the one reason why, I hate using the cliche of the Jewish people, it's beaten to death. Everybody who wants to improve, to give a sight how their people could be better, always, the Jews do it, but understand something. It's very important. I just run by this cliche very quickly. The reason why Israel is able to have grown so quickly, so effectively, is because they were able to draw from the massive pool of very talented Jews from across the world who always took the areas that they live as priority. Wherever the Jews were in any part of the world, they owned the land. They kept money within their businesses. Money circulated within their communities, right? So when it came time to invest in their homeland, they had a lot of capital, social capital, physical capital, financial capital, to then turn around and put into their country. And now Israel is a genuine first world superpower, nuclear. They're a nuclear power, right? Because their people took serious their independent development in the countries that they reside, right? And so I think if Haitians did the same thing, and again, moving to Haiti isn't for everybody. It's not. Even sometimes I question if it's right for me. On some of my most difficult days in the country, when I go 1 week without electricity, and there's political instability in the streets, I wonder, should I be here, right? But anyone, any Haitian, anywhere, can decide to not only accomplish themselves, but then invest in their little Haiti that's near them. All right, Bounce Bushy. Very long response, but I wanted to take some time to really give that response because there's more ways to impact Haiti than just up and leaving, right? Juvie Lover says, why look for a job when you create jobs? Yep, got my point there. X Collins says, I'm talking about people who know can learn how to code, build microprocessors, etc. So yes, the infrastructure makes. So let's talk about the coding part. The infrastructure Haiti makes that challenging because there isn't electricity. Electricity is a rarity in Haiti for every Haitian of moderate or low means. And so what coders have to do is they have to find some place with steady electricity and steady internet, which is also very difficult in the country and very expensive. And so it's those structural things that coders exist, right? And there's places you can go. For example, you can go to Bunch, you can go to Impact Hub, reach out to these. I've highlighted them on my channel before, and just send them a message. Hey, I'm I want to work with some Haitian coders. And they'll connect you, and then they'll facilitate their work with you, right? Because they have places Bunge and Impact Hub, they're centers of electricity and very fast internet, right? And so, but in general, there won't ever be a mass, revolution of IT professionals natively in Haiti until there's 24/7 electricity for everyone accessible. And until the price points have gone down considerably for the average person to be able to generally afford, right? And that's where we are, right? That's where we are. So that's for coding. Again, I want to be clear. The way you want to go about it is reach out to Bunge or reach out to Impact Hub if you want to, facilitate learning code for any Haitian or hire somebody. Okay, so there's a way to do it. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, build microchip processors. No, Haiti is very far away from that. So I'll just move on very quickly. Very far away. With earthquakes, I'm not sure if you notice a lot of buildings here in the United States are making whole complex of wood. Yeah. I know wood is very, generally speaking, much more, it can handle the stresses of earthquake a lot more. That's understood. But, Haiti doesn't have, Haiti lacks wood. Haiti again is one of the most deforested nations in the Caribbean and in the world, actually. So wood, I don't know, we'd have to import wood, and I'm not for importation. The only thing about cement that's handy is, what is cement? It's water, it's dirt, and of course, it's that spectra cement mixture, which actually can be manufactured and provide jobs, right? So I'm certainly partial for sort of cement buildings if produced the right way. And if produced the right way with seismological, is that a word? Seismological practices in place, they can certainly be as effective as wood. So using plywood as walls, that's certainly one way to make a structure less heavy, right? And I know some places are trying to do just that, right? To do different things to make things less heavy, but plywood also not really in practice. And it doesn't necessarily begin. Even the way we do things, you just got to do it a way that's better, right? Bamboo actually is growing. Actually, bamboo is growing considerably in Haiti. Bamboo is growing considerably in Haiti. There's more and more bamboo makers, and actually, bamboo may offer in the long term as an alternative. right, as an alternative. So I agree. Jacques George says, "Hey brother, I asked a question earlier, but had to drop off. Did you answer? Are flights being allowed into Haiti at this time? No, no flights. Last July 20 is the tentative decision date, right? It's not even that's going to be reopened, but the prime minister said by July 20 they will decide whether or not they're going to continue to extend or not. So by the way, Instagram, it's about to end, and since we're about to wrap up anyways, I'm not going to reopen Instagram. So so for those who are watching Instagram right now, we're about to the hour cap. So please come to Facebook or come to YouTube. All right, so that's it. So IG is closed. IG is closed. IG is closed. Let me wrap that up. Let me go and save that, wrap that up, and close that down. Okay. IG, so annoying. That hour cap is so annoying. Ugh, so freaking annoying. So keep reading the comments here. We can produce our own wood particles, sorghum, sugarcane. Totally agree with you. Yep, certainly. So there are potentials. Yeah, there are alternatives. I agree with you, Regina, 100%. All right, and the last news story for the day is the book fair. There was a book fair, and one thing folks don't really appreciate or understand really from outside is that there's a very big book culture in Haiti, and every year, in fact, 2 years ago, there was this massive moving boat that this is what they do. It's like this massive boat that just has books, and they go across the Caribbean and function as this sort of moving book store, right? And so the 26th annual book fair is held at the Henri Deschamps Publishing House in Port-au-Prince. They had over 310 books on display. All the books that are on display can be purchased. It was very well attended relative over the time that the book fair was happening. And so it's just very important that I'd share that news story. Certainly, I regret that I'm not in the country because I certainly would have loved to have made that into an episode. That's certainly something that it's one of those things that folks need to know about and see the potential. And again, the fact that these books can be purchased, that's great because it encourages the access and the distribution of books in a sustainable way, right? But of course, those during that book fair, folks could read and glance at them and really dig deep into it. Certainly, Haiti certainly does need genuine libraries. I know most recently, Jerry Tadjo opened up a library in Pétionville named after his mother, and that is open to the public. Any Haitian youth can actually go to that library and rent a book out, and also do homework and things like that. So certainly, we need more public works like that. But in any case, the 26th annual book fair, and we look forward to reporting on the 27th annual book fair. Hopefully, I'll be in the country and I can show you guys rather than just tell you. Okay. And that is the news cycle for today. Startup Life says, does Haiti manufacture drywall? Not that I'm aware of, actually. I'm not aware of any drywall manufacturing, actually. So no, that probably wouldn't work unless someone's doing it, and I've never, because Haiti, everyone who's been to Haiti, you see how construction is done. It's universally cement, right? And then they put plaster on it and then paint over it, right? So the question really isn't necessarily wood and everything could help, but we know that even cement can be done to be much more fortified because it really depends on the steel. Anyone who knows about how cement bricks and things are laid, the way the steel is put together and the way it's tied really is what determines if during a shock how much shaking it can sustain. And so honestly, the solution here, is to really make sure that the best practices are put in place. Now, obviously, and pragmatically, poor Haitian who sorely, as you ever drive around Haiti, you see that most homes are half built or a quarter built, because the way it works, because there's no financial institution that really lends to to people. As people make money, they buy they buy some bricks. As people make money, they buy pieces for their cement. So all this, depending on where they buy it, the quality, the fact that what they're using for cement to do actual cement later on can sit outside in the elements for months. All these things add to the degradation of the quality of the building. And so when an earthquake hits, you saw what happened in 2010. So it's not necessarily that there isn't ways to make cement-like buildings that are very popular in Haiti function. It's more of the unfortunate ripple effects of poverty that make, when earthquakes hit, to be so devastating in the first place, right? So, Startup Life follows up, says the name of the library. You know what? I don't know the name. It's in Pétionville. It's very close to. It's on the same street as Matalik. Matalik has a brand new building. It's on the same street. I want to say it's the same street as Fubar as well, right? So if you go to Google Maps, you type in Fubar or you type in Matalik in Pétionville, there's going to be a street. And then I think if you put library in, or bibliothèque, actually, mette bibliothèque in Google Maps on Pétionville, and you'll see the library that Jerry Tado made available to Haitians, to the Haitians of that area. So I hope that answered your question there. James Lubin follows up, says, man, I wish there was widespread Creole ebooks. Yeah, I agree. We need, even the book I'm working on, as you guys know, 101 Ways to Make Money in Haiti. Even my book, certainly it's going to be released in English, but very quickly I'm going to work very aggressively to try to get the Creole version out as well. I'm not going to make a French version. French is not a useful language. First thing I would do if I was president would change our language to English, right? And, but I guess that's a discussion for another day. But certainly, there's not enough. Right? There should be more Creole books for certain. In fact, the language of instruction of Haiti should be Creole, in fact. But again, that's a discussion for another day. So we reached the very end of our show. We hit 2 hours today. Oh my goodness, 2 hours. That's a waypoint that means we had a lot of conversation, a lot of input from folks. So thank you for that. I do want to say a special thank you to everyone who's donated. Wow. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Again, every penny that's donated is going to go to producing content in Haiti. So thank you for that. Again, I'm humbled to have received it. It encourages me, certainly. Again, what encourages me is just you guys viewing, you guys sharing, you guys commenting, you guys showing up every Sunday. That's encouraging alone, right? But then, as always, I'm a capitalist. Money never hurts. So thank you for that. Everyone who donated, thank you for that. I certainly appreciate it. As always, as you guys know, YouTube See Genty on location. If you guys are new here, if you're first time watching the show, please, YouTube See Genty is where you want to go. It's just the same title as you see here, See Genty. You see my name over here, See Genty. Go to YouTube, type that in. You'll see my page. My page will load up. You'll see a bunch of playlists, a lot of real cool content. So I challenge you to watch some of it and then share your favorite ones, right? Share your favorite ones and subscribe. It's really important. Hit that big red button that says subscribe on there. Subscribe, right? Again, subscribing is important because you get to know when we drop Haiti Biz News, and especially when we're back in the country, all the new content's coming back up. You stay on the know, right? So that's number one. Number two, the podcast as well. Even though I'm not in the country, I can't produce the content I want to produce. We're still trying to drive conversation around impact players who are doing great things in the country. And last week I dropped the episode on IT analytics and the great work they're doing. But also be aware, I'm dropping a hell of an episode this week. For those who don't know, there's this documentary on Netflix called La Belle Vie. Right? I think I misspelled it, actually. I misspelled it. La Belle Vie. I think La Belle Vie is actually spelled like this. Yeah, I misspelled it. La Belle Vie on Amazon. It's a story of a Haitian American
a woman who was born in America, but then is looking to re-engage in Haiti, and it shows that journey. Hello, is that not the channel that you're watching here, right? And so I saw that on Amazon. I was like, holy crap, I gotta turn heaven and earth to get this woman on the podcast and get a conversation. And I worked my butt off to find her, and she said yes to an interview, and so that's gonna be the next episode this Thursday. So again, I'm on everything. We're on Ma Pimpo Haiti, the Haitian diaspora living in Haiti podcast. We're on everything. We're on Spotify. So if you type in literally Ma Pimpo Haiti, if you type that into Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you should be able to find it. Right? If you just start typing Haitian diaspora, there's no other Haitian diaspora podcast. Right? Just type that, you'll find it. But of course, that's another reason why you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I drop those episodes are there as well for the YouTube channel. Even on Facebook, I have a Facebook page. It's there as well. So again, every medium. I don't want to hear people say, "How do I find you, Chris? How do I find your content?" See, Genty, you haven't typed in the name in the search bar, because I'm on everything. Let's be clear. Right. So make sure you're following me so you can get that content as it drops. Right. And Gary Tech, no, it's not on Netflix, it's on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime. To be very clear, Gary Tech, Amazon Prime is where you'll find La Belle Vie. Okay. All right. And then what else? Make sure, again, this episode we had today, very value added. The fact that, again, we talked about the legal update towards rental real estate in Haiti. That alone should be why you should share this, right? But nonetheless, especially those who contributed today, especially those who participate in the conversation, right? You added to the improvement of ROI, return on information, to the folks. So take it, give yourself a pat on the back by sharing the stream. Share your participation, right? Share it, get some more folks to understand the news and what's happening in the country, right? And before I go, let me read the last few comments, right? Last few comments. Canal agrees about English and Creole. Cesar Nazari says, I think this should frame the interiors with studs and sheetrock, and okay, some architectural stuff there. Wesley Compre, thank you, brother. Happy to have you watching. And good morning to you too. Okay, that's the name of the bibliothèque for those who are asking. La Bibliothèque Michalet Jean de Pétionville. Okay, so that's the library in Pétionville. You can feel free and visit that next time you're in the city. It's very nice. It's a very pretty looking building, if I must say. This is Haiti says yes. Yet they force people to accuse the president. Damn, serious manipulation. Makes sense. Absolutely. Yep. Again, our power is with the parliament. It's crazy. It's very frustrating. We need to put pressure on our parliament, as always. Thanks for that. This is Haiti. Less casualties. Okay. All right. That's it. So that's all the comments. As always, Sundays, 11 a.m. All comments read live on air, as you saw, right? And guys, until we're back at it again, we'll be back at it again. Peace. Be safe.